Hi all, welcome to Fulcrum 5.0, the consulting conclave of XLRI Jamshedpur. I'm your host Himank Wadhwa, and with us we have Ms. Disha Roy, client partner at Publicis Sapient. She brings over 23 years of experience in the consulting industry. Her work spans across change management, program delivery, talent strategy, and capability building. So, ma'am, we are truly excited to have you here with us, and I'm sure everyone watching this podcast will have a lot of takeaways that will be important for their future career journey. So, let's get started.
Absolutely. And first of all, I should say, huge thank you for the XLRI team for having me here. And thank you, Himang, for doing this.
All right. So to start off, I would like to discuss your thoughts on talent strategy. As the organizations adapt to the newer technologies and a new generation of people are entering to the workforce, so what do you think the talent strategy should be to accommodate this change properly?
Sure. Let me break it down a little bit, right? The whole talent strategy. If I look at the talent lifecycle, we hire people, we train people, and they work. We do performance management, and that's pretty much the life cycle.
Yeah.
So the talent strategy goes across, right? It is not just the talent you're hiring. You're getting someone in, you have to make sure that the person is set up for success, right? And when I say set up for success in a way that they are actually aligned to the company's objectives, right? So as I said, it starts pretty much from, say, hiring the right talent, right? And the strategy is about not only, and of course, with so much of technology shifts happening, what we have been focusing on last few years, definitely on skills, right? What are the skills the person brings in? And being in IT consulting, I think we focus a lot on technology skills, right? And but at the same time, I think the definition of that is also changing, right? What we need to understand is, with such rampant transformations happening in the industry, it is important that the people coming in are ready to adapt those changes. And hence, apart from the skills they bring in, it is absolutely important to look at some very, very basic human qualities, which, they bring in. Things like learnability, Today's AI, tomorrow will be something else.
Yeah.
How soon can they learn? How soon can they adapt to a change like that? So there's a lot of focus on, the mindset of people coming in. And I think that is defining how we are hiring nowadays. So along with your technology skills, it is as important to focus on, these, you can say, the non-technology skills. That's
Right.
what we call them, non-craft skills. But at the same time, they are going to take the center stage going forward. So that's about hiring. We get people there. Now, the person has come in. The person is, kind of settling down in his or her jobs, and the organization is at the same time going through this whole transformation, right? The outside world is changing, the organization is changing its strategy on the go to cater to that transformation, so on and so forth. Now this person needs to feel and needs to be ready for that. And how do I make sure? I make sure we can make sure of that through a very evolved learning ecosystem, right? And consultants of today, you cannot really say that, oh, this is a learning calendar, go and kind of do this course. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Everyone is in, very, very tight schedules, project deliveries, client calls. The learning has to be invisible. It has to be built into the ecosystem where they are working. It has to be through their day-to-days. It has to be through their project scenarios. Absolutely. And at the same time, it needs to be personalized,
Right.
because every consultant coming in, every talent coming in has a very different skill gap. right?
Correct.
While they are kind of working and growing with you.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you give them personalized content. And at the same time, so just imagine this guy is doing already kind of 12 hours of, work. Where is the time
Yeah.
to learn? Hence, it needs to be aspirational,
Mm.
right? What is that learning? What is that going to be doing for the person?
Yeah.
Right? Is it a skill gap? Is it, some kind of soft skill the person? But how is it going to help that person grow to become a better professional, to become a better person?
Yeah.
So I think, and at the same time, as I said, this needs to be invisible while all this is happening.
Yeah, it shouldn't
Right.
feel like another task. to be done,
Absolutely. It cannot be another task like sitting outside. Oh, I have to go now, put 8 hours through the weekend to kind of learn this.
Yeah.
Maybe you do that for some technical skills. You have to, maybe. But at the same time, it needs to be pretty much out there, invisible. You are kind of doing it as you go. The other bit, I think I feel how we are rewarding our people, and that's part of the talent strategy. So it is just not the new generation. They just don't look for promotions. It's not true anymore. It is about, so the rewards are not that after 1 year or 2 years I get promoted. It has to be bits and pieces coming throughout because the person is really working hard, right? And it needs to be situational, and the gratitude, instant gratitude is something which does wonders to a person. So I think the whole reward ecosystem needs to be evolved like that, and it cannot be just, the promotion thing. I'll just go a little bit more because I feel even when it comes to career growth, when, this whole strategy is playing out, the career growths are very fluid nowadays, right?
Yeah.
If you look at, you cannot be tied to one particular role anymore, because with AI coming in, the boundaries between roles are getting blurred, really.
It's easier
Right?
to move
Absolutely
across,
move across. And maybe, what a consultant does today, 40% of it can be done, the research and the whole documentation and everything can be done by AI tomorrow, right? And that's happening, right? And so can someone pick up your job? I think they can, but it's just that since it is becoming that blurred, it is absolutely important that the person has enough play in the system that they can really move their careers according to how they are growing, the skills they are adopting, the new stuff they are learning, right? So I think it's the combination of a lot of these things, and I think a lot of one other thing which is happening, mental well-being. I'm bringing this up because I don't think it sits outside talent strategy.
Sure, it is.
I feel it's a strategy to survive. The new people coming in, they want a psychologically safe place to work. They want to be appreciated. They want mental well-being to be taken care of. I think, the panel one was talking about, there is no really a work-life balance. That is true. Look, consulting world, we have clients sitting across the world, and we are kind of doing a lot of stuff differently, but across the time zones. But at the same time, just prioritizing what is priority 1, 2, and kind of balancing it out. It's an art people learn over years, but I feel just giving that sense that is possible is something which is part of this overall strategy.
Yeah, I think the newer generation, for them, having that mental well-being is like a non-negotiable right now, and it should be. Right?
It should be. It should be. Look, we did not know this when we entered the industry some 2 decades back, but I think we changed, we grew, and we realized that our teams need that. Okay, we learned it the hard way sometimes, but we learned, and we kind of grew up with this, and now I think it's like it has to be there. You cannot, it's not non-negotiable, as you said.
Yeah. And I think even in consulting, we know that there are going to be days where you're going to burn the midnight oil. But then even if you have a very strong culture, it doesn't really impact your mental health, because I've been on that side. I've worked that long, but having a really supportive set of managers, a very strong culture that enables you to thrive in that tough environment, I think that is important for the generations as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'll just say that. I don't know if I should say it, but they say that if you don't have a good manager, your life becomes difficult. It is true.
It's true.
It is true. I mean, whatever said and done, it is true. And you definitely want to work with someone who you look up to and who inspires you.
Right.
Absolutely. So I think, yeah.
Great. Okay, so just doubling down on this, the same, talking about the talent strategy, specifically when we talk about consulting, what do you think over the next 5 years are the most critical skills that one should really look for solidifying so that they thrive in their career?
Yeah, as I was saying, right, I mean, just kind of continuing that on that. Technology skills, domain skills, they are important. I'm not saying they're not, but they are changing so fast. And that, so the skill you need to have is, can you learn fast?
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's one skill, learnability. And okay, I'll now get a little bit of emotional intelligence in the mix. And over the time, I'm seeing that is becoming really, really important for, any new MBA graduate coming in or any new consultant joining the workforce. I just feel self-awareness, is becoming super important, because if you don't know where you are and from here where you're going and how you are in an ecosystem, where are you placed, what you want to do, it becomes a little difficult for the person to kind of figure out a way and kind of go from there. Self-awareness is also important in the client context, right? When you are going in front of the client, you are on the other side, you're trying to understand what the client's problem is. If you're not self-aware, you don't have good listening skills, it becomes even more difficult for you, right? So I just feel that these the emotional quotient and the attributes which come with it are becoming very, very important for anyone who is coming in. For even to do well in the technology and domain space, they need to have these skills. I'll just give you an example. Happened with one of my clients very recently, right? So I was so there was a new consultant working with me, and I was just shadowing. I was just trying to kind of help him out a little bit. And so the first meeting, of course, we went and we were trying to understand the client problem. We were okay. We kind of opened the second meeting. The second meeting was all about, the way we went ahead was, this is your problem and this is the solution, right? And suddenly we see that, we are trying to impose a lot on the client, and we're not open to, what the client is kind of trying to. So this is where a lot of coaching skills, they help, right? Because you want the client to come up with their answers themselves, really, in situations. You might have a solution, but even to reach to that solutions, you want the client to navigate and reach that solution. And I have seen, and so of course that meeting did not go well. The client wasn't happy because we were like, we were all over the place. So then the third meeting, that's exactly we tried to do. We tried to navigate. We just gave some good questions to the client, asked the right questions, and we navigated. And the client actually came to that solution themselves and asked, hey, can you guys do this for us? I just feel that look, that doesn't come very easily. All these, small, very, soft skills, they don't come easily. They come with experience. But I feel for the new workforce coming in, these are going to be super, super important. As I was saying, that the transformation in the industry is happening so fast, right? We all know AI just kind of took us by storm. So, just be ready for adapting to these changes. If you don't have these softer skills, sorted out, it's difficult. right? We try to control a lot of things which are not in our control, right? And we lose a lot of time. But if we are self-aware, we are well built in terms of, we are thinking right, this becomes much more easier. So I feel that in the years to come, even now for that matter, of course we interview people on tech skills, domain skills, do you know about this domain and on, but overall there is this part of the individual which is absolutely important for the person.
Right. Because eventually, I think in any business, eventually it all boils down to how the people are working together. It's the people's business.
Oh, absolutely.
So having that sort of empathy while working with people, understanding what their motivations are, only then you can drive that change.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Yeah. All right. So just, I would love to hear about your own career journey for a minute. So you started off with product management, then you led talent strategy at a firm, and now you're acting as a client partner. So at each step of this journey, like what's one thread that you think connects all of this? And were there any things that you learned and unlearned at each step of this journey? So
yeah, absolutely. And actually, it's been a fascinating journey for myself. I mean, I never thought I will do so many switches myself. So, but yeah, so I think two things which kept me going, right? And I feel which helped me kind of establish myself in each of these roles and kind of go to the next one, because that is also important for you to, it's not only for the organization to see that you can do it, but you to kind of say that, yeah, I can do it, and I'm self-aware and I know where I am. So I think it is very important. And two things which comes to my mind. One is curiosity, because I always felt, oh, you know what? I've not done this. Is there something else? Is there something new I can do? So that is something which always was with me. And the second is system thinking. So I always had this knack, and I think that comes from my years in hardcore delivery program management, which is people, process, and technology. Because you have to get all this together to kind of do your stuff for the client. And that stayed. So even if when I was doing talent strategy role, I had all these three ingredients going into the learning ecosystem, going into the hiring ecosystem, going into, everything, all the people processes. So that gave me a huge edge in terms of, since I had systems in place, I had data. I could do data analytics then I could really gather a lot of information and do better. I could do a lot of personalization. So it just, with keeping this systems thinking in mind, I think I could do it a little differently than a traditional way of, say, doing learning or hiring, because I could kind of bring tools in place, processes in place, and people in place. So that's definitely one thing. And in consulting, I think that's given. That has to be there. I mean, you can. I feel in consulting, my people side has gone up now. Considering one is, of course, we are a people organization. That's what people work with people to solve clients' problems. The other bit is connecting to the clients at a different level. There is always an unlock which happens when you connect with the client, just not for what you're solving for the client, but there are some very latent needs the client has, which are unlocked only when you are able to connect to them at that level. And I think that's where the magic of consulting happens. So I think these are 2-3 things which kind of help me. In terms of learning, unlearning, I think unlearning from delivery to when I moved to talent, I think unlearning was speed. Talent needed much more reflection. Talent needed pause, understand, because talent has a lot of change management, right? you're doing a new, you'll say you're doing a new competency model for a new craft. It is, you need time, you need to understand, you need to talk to many more people to understand where they are, what's happening, and then kind of, kind of get a change in. So I felt speed to reflection was thing. And so that helped. It came a little harder for me because I was so used to, this delivery is always, very, very speed, quality focused, but that happened. And for learning thing, I think consulting, as I was saying, coming to the consulting, I think the whole people and the emotional intelligence bit is something. What I understood and what I learned in that was, I had it. It's just that I had to kind of surface it out, right? Because I was handling delivery, huge teams also while we were delivering to clients. But I thought that it's just that I had to kind of get it out for myself to understand that, yes, I can do this and I have this, and I just need to kind of now surface it out a little bit more. So I think these were a few things which helped.
And when you went back to consulting, the speed element should have come back.
Yes. And someone was saying, right, how urgently you urgency is always there. If you ask a client, and that's why asking the client the right questions. And I think someone said, oh, the client will say that you do it today. I mean, I need it like as if tomorrow, as it yesterday. But at the same time, when you say, oh, can I do a POC on your code? Oh, that's going to take two weeks or 2 months because my, security team has to give this clearance and that. So look, these are, and this comes with experience because a lot of clients do that, but it's just that you ask the right questions. Okay, I understand it's urgent, but hey, what can be, but what can be prioritized and how to, the other bit which which helped was breaking a big problem into smaller chunks, executable chunks, which will give results, right? And that is something which helped. Of course, you learn it in delivery because that's what learning it helped actually, because you have to suddenly. I'll tell you. I'll just give an example. We were doing. So the whole AI transformation bit, it was a huge project for us, right? And we realized that, and I was talking about change management earlier, but we realized we need to have a structure and break it down into smaller chunks for people to understand what is this transformation about. So there was a huge change management element, but we created a framework, right? And the framework, and glad we spoke about people and mindset before. The framework had 3 elements: mindset, skill set, and tool sets, right? Mindset, because as soon as AI came in, people were scared.
Right.
They are going to be obsolete. I don't know, my job is gonna go. There were articles. I don't know what all was happening in the industry. Yeah. So yes. So so we broke it down. Okay, mindset. This is what we have to drive with. This is how we have to get people aligned. We have to show value to them. How it connects with their growth, right? To skill set, of course, you need to learn few things to be there. So they can be technical skills. There can be some more skills. So that, and tool set is, of course, you give them all the AI tool sets and more. Tool sets are not only those tool sets. Tool sets are mediums for them to explore, dirty their hands, do stuff. So you give them that ecosystem. Where they fail, it's fine. You're giving them that safety net as well. But go ahead and do it. Innovate, but go ahead and do it. So I think just breaking that bigger problem into smaller chunks and giving it a frame helped us kind of drive it. So I think that's another one thing which kind of I kind of relearned, maybe, in a way.
So I think in these tool sets, mindset would have been the toughest one to crack.
Oh, right? Yes, it is still going on. It is still going on. People are still not there. It takes time. It takes time. It takes a lot of. The best part is, I'm glad the organization is focusing on that, because that gets lost the first.
Right.
People just talk about skill sets and tool sets. People don't talk about mindsets. I'm glad that it is the first one in the list, and we are really doubling down on that. And it doesn't look. It is not that I can teach someone a soft skill. It doesn't happen. But I create an ecosystem where there is mentoring, where there is coaching, where there is enough elements for them to see what this mindset is gonna be. How they imbibe it. So I think that's where. So I'm very glad we are doubling down on that.
Great, that's amazing to hear. So before we wrap up, I would just like to quickly get your thoughts on this evolving mindset. So do you think we know all these change management frameworks and all those principles, but do you think there's some myth to that? Or like, do these frameworks work? Like anything that you think that people believe is true, but you have a different opinion on that?
Yeah, I definitely do. So two things, right? And we can just merge it into one. So I think the statement is people resist change, right? Gen Z resists change. That is also something I've heard. I don't believe in that. I think it's a myth. I think change fails because it's not driven the right way. We have the strategy, but we don't know how to implement it. We don't know I think in the boardrooms we decide why we want to change. We decide a strategy that this is what is going to change and how it's going to look like. It goes to the next level, but after that it's silence. It's like after that the layers are like, oh, you have to do this
without the why behind it.
Absolutely. So why, how it's going to help them, how it is going to connect to their picture. That is the biggest, that's the most important story in the whole thing. Because if they're not clear how it's going to help them and what's going to change for them, they will resist, right? And I feel change, catalyst, change managers or behavioral change agents are going to be, those roles are going to grow in the organizations. We sell it as a service, but I think within our own organization also that's going to be a role which is going to come in, because change is rampant, change is going to happen, so much is changing, and connecting it with people gives them, they will never resist it. They will resist, but your journey will be much easier and it won't be like, it won't be a push.
Right.
It will start changing into a pull after a while. But you ask someone to learn something. I don't have time, I'm so busy, I'm do this, that, and I cannot take it. You change it to, oh, this will help you grow. This is where it will take you. This is gonna, you will see the person is actually putting in that extra effort or figuring out how to do it on the job.
Right.
So I think and that's a myth. I definitely want to burst, but yeah, I think that's not true for me.
Great. I think that was very helpful for all of us to know and learn. So on that note, we would like to wrap up this podcast, and thank you so much for your wonderful insights. I think it will be very important for everyone watching this episode. And
Okay, thank you.